rotate it around at this stage. You could feel the coaching staff here for DRX, feeling the pressure, feeling the heat.
Yeah,
ZeniMax has been here so many times before.
And this is where we have to look at pocket picks, right? And Showmaker is a good place to start, because now Twisted Fate is something that needs to be on your mind, right? There's a lot of these global or semi-global champions that have already been used up and taken away. No Realm Warp available. I mean, Stands United is still there, but there's no Paranoia, there's no Heroic Entrance, there's no Weaver's Wall. Like, there's a lot of these semi-globals that allow movement around the map. There's also the Grand Skyfall that is now not available. And so they're going to have to dig deep to try and stop that sort of extra mobility from being so valuable, as the Ahri is going to be the first priority, as of course Showmaker has just been so incredibly good at that, but his LeBlanc is still available as well, right? So I think that the mid lane is where DRX really needs to make sure that they can get a good matchup and stop Showmaker from running away with it in one of his signature picks.
So we're looking at basically all 4 of these champions right now are engage buttons, right? Akali is not. That's the 5th one that's not. But even picks like Leona go way up in priority when we get this thin in terms of how you start team fights. So, like, Sylas is gone, you know? I am feeling like if you're DRX here, first pick is not an easy question to answer, but the Wukong that was mentioned from Ox might be where we end up going here. Yone is also taken away. Just because it's so simple, it works with so many different types of composition, but the Rumble is left
God! Okay, well, that's Rumble Gwen, both being picked up here, and Lucid slams the Lee Sin.
Okay, it's a Lucid favorite. Shiyu also has had some great games with Gwen in the past, but individually, Rich very confident, I think, about how this matchup could potentially go. Wukong Rumble feels fairly easy. They're going to push the Aphelios stocks to the roof.
I love this. Get that bottom lane in before they can get banned away. The Aphelios to be locked away first. This could be a Lulu right now.
It is.
And that is so strong for DRX. Like, these picks, these could have come out in a game 1 and you'd be like, oh wow, they've gotten the whole tier list.
And now as DRX, it's really simple. You just protect your bottom lane. As D plus Gia, I think you need to ban the Wukong away. See what this pick is going to be here that they grab. I don't think they want to grab either of their bottom lane. It'll be split, but Showmaker's pick would have to be blind, and it will be a blind Twisted Fate.
And I think that this is the only way you can really approach this, because already, yeah, DRX's team fight looks so scary. And so just try and play around that, right? Like, also, Rapid Fire Cannon Stun is going to be a great way to get a Chaos or a Cleanse out of Gio whenever you'd like to. And I mean, I think the tools are going to be there for D+, but DRX are set up so well for their style of success here in this game number 5.
Syndra ban. I really feel like you have to ban Wukong here. With the Lulu online, Wild Growth, and the protection it's going to offer, plus setup for the Rumble, you cannot let them have it.
Where is Smash going to go in this game as well? Lucian already taken away. Could be a Kai'Sa composition, right? Like Killer Instinct follow-up onto a gold card could be good, but that's a lot of magic damage that you would then have.
I'm more curious about what Career's going to play, because he can't play Leona into this, I don't think. There's the Wukong ban. I think that was such a given.
Yeah, good call.
But
Ezreal,
Leona feels like it's great for the comp for what it wants to do, but there is just no way you're going to play the lane out. The Ezreal's gone now. Karma also gone. Seraphine also gone. How do you deal with this Lulu? Bard also gone.
I mean, I think you just have to sack lane and hope that it's going to be okay later. Try not to bleed too badly down there.
What if you just played like Caitlyn Lux and think you can just go straight up toe-to-toe and just...
I mean, honestly, Caitlyn might be the best way. Maybe just Draven. When in doubt, just Draven.
Draven Nami?
That'd be fun.
Draven Nami could kind of work here. If they can get that single pick.
Oh god, the Jinx. Okay, this was the classic answer. The problem here is it's going to be like Jinx Thresh,
or perhaps
I guess.
Jinx
Tahm Kench.
Well, Jinx Tahm Kench kind of feels like it's strong in some senses, but so weak in the lane.
Yeah.
As now the Wukong is gone, it's a really tricky call here because there's just not that much engage left. The Skarner, kind of funny that could have been a thing, but the Sejuani, also relatively great setup for the Wild Growth, pretty easy to get in there. And also the ult really empowers the Rumble as well.
Imagine if Yukal just played Aurelia.
No way.
Okay, instead, it's going to be a Tristana locked in here as the mid lane matchup into Showmaker. It's not exactly permafrost synergy, which is what I was kind of looking at there. But Pike would be a decision.
I think we can all agree that, okay, that we're not going to see it. Thresh makes the most sense in terms of classical pairings, but it's so tough into the Lulu. The Leona doesn't work. Like, this Lulu pick just kind of trumps everything. They can add safety here, but I don't think DRX are going to be hard engaging on the Jinx. You're not going to get that much value out of the Lantern because they're just going to be blowing up your front line, which, by the way, is a Gwen, and that's it. And if they get any kills, if Tristana gets resets here, the Wild Growth can save either carry threat in the Tristana and the Aphelios. You don't have a traditional tank here. You can't build armor as D+. And this draft feels very flat to me on the D+ side. You've got a strong 1-3-1 if you can get there. And Jinx scales really well, but they have the Aphelios and the Tristana, not to mention great setup. And the Lulu guarantees a strong lane. Now, it's not a default win if Ondo messes up. If they get death sentenced, then there are ways for Smash and Career to actually turn that one around. But Career is the least experienced player on the Rift right now. I like giving him the Thresh, not the Pike, because the Pike is just such a high skill cap, high variance champion that could win you the lane if you play it perfectly. But if you mess it up, or if you try to go for the roam and you end up giving too much gold over, you just lose the game over it. I think this is the right call, but I still don't feel like it gave D+ what they were looking for.
I do think that the thing that D+ do have is Showmaker on Twisted Fate. He makes magic on this champion. They also have a lot of global threat with the Super Mega Death Rocket as well, so that they can do things around the map, try and cheat some tempo in this game, and maybe get themselves an advantage. But you're exactly right, DRX's team fight looks scary. Let's get into Game 5. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for the final game of the series. And we'll see who's going to be progressing forward in these playoffs, whether it's going to be DRX or whether it's going to be D+.
Oh.
As this ward will be taken down in the end. Career sacrifices a bit of health, but otherwise he's going to be all right.
Sweeper start to guarantee that. And it comes at a cost, obviously. Won't have his own trinket to put down. And winning this at level 1 is just so hard.
It's going to be a tough one, but you do have, like, when there's no Calibrum, a range advantage. And this was a matchup that Jinx was happy in the past. Things have changed a little bit. I feel like Aphelios is in a great spot right now, and also with a Lulu.
Yeah, it's more about the supports, I think, than it is about the AD carries. Because individually, yeah, absolutely, Jinx into Aphelios, that's what you love, but your support is melee and needs to hit his skill shot.
Oh, it's Rumble in the jungle as well. I love this skin. It's my favorite.
Rich is the top laner? No, I know, I'm just... Remember when Rumble was in the jungle?
Yep.
Remember RNG
Peanut
versus
used
D+?
to always play Rumble in the jungle as well, because you drop pineapples and it's just the best. So
it's very fun.
I'm very, very happy that that exists, even if it isn't a jungle Rumble. As Korea looking to try and get some zoning done. The Smash will clear up these minions. And D+ currently with a fair bit of control here towards the bottom side. Gio getting pushed out just a little, but should be able to use that Severum to help keep that health bar looking a little better. This amount of control in the bottom lane was not really what I was expecting, though. This, however, is looking pretty good for Yukal, taking control of the lane. All-time 31-8. Showmaker is good at Twisted Fate, guys. As Barrier was actually used, make sure that Smash could get the recall. I believe is going to go make sure he has his cull as early as possible.
Whose world skin is he playing in this one?
Showmaker?
Yeah.
Showmaker. It's his one.
I know. That's not.
Oh, right.
See the Damwon logos there?
You were baiting me.
No, I just wanted to let everyone know.
Aha.
And
Yukal is going to make him explode. And it's going to do a lot of damage.
That's not great. But the bottom lane, like you said, is going much better than expected. And also Lucid is hovering around down there. They need to be very careful. He's going to take this scuttle, and it looks like Willer will take the top zone, but he wants to make something happen first. This is risky. It's Ignite Rumble.
This is an odd angle as well. All right, Gio going to be backing away. Lantern just for the shield. But can Xiu survive? That is the question. It's a big wave moving towards this Gwen. It's going to be a tough dive as he is immune a little bit, but Rich is going to die, so a 1-for-1.
And the kill goes to the Gwen. And the DRX kill goes to Willer.
And they hadn't teleported yet, and Rich doesn't have teleport!
Yeah, I can't say I agree with this one. Felt a little bit hard-forced.
Well, Korea really didn't like that minion. Needed to move that one closer to the other minions so that he could get rid of it as soon as possible.
So that ends up being, they get the teleport out, I suppose.
Yes.
At the end of the day, Rich does end up getting his burn earn versus cooldown boots for Xiu, so gonna be a nice buy for him after the play, but execution a little bit lacking here as now they're losing a little bit more control of this lane in the bottom side.
Another minion tagged immediately, and the zap goes wide there.
Career's death sentences have not been inspiring just yet.
He hasn't been sentencing much death outside of doing it to minions. But he's calibrating.
True.
That's what we like to say with Hook champions. As Rich holding on to this wave, Xiu is going to snip him. But this Gwen feeling pretty good here towards his top side. 55 gold in the lead. As Rich, like you say, I think the buy feels pretty good.
Yeah, because he can just kind of chip away at Xiu's health bar. And in the early game, it is so significant, the extra burn damage in a matchup like this, where it's really thin margins for the Gwen, who has to use her Mist to kind of trade with the Rumble. And when that's on cooldown, it's just a really frustrating time. As you can see, this back is stopped as well by Rich there on the top side. I do kind of like Ignite Rumble in matchups like this, though, because the teleport shield value is a little bit lower for Rumble. Unless you're massively ahead and you're just like a king in battle Rumble. It's really just not that valuable because you're...
Oh no. Cannon advantage there from Showmaker. And remember, he's got a stacked deck, so he is just going to have more money in this game. It's up to DRX to try and hold him down if they can.
But the money that the Tristana gets is arguably more useful in the late game for damage. Well, it's 100% the case in terms of damage, so we'll see if Showmaker can use his ultimate to impact the map globally.
Also able to upgrade the Berserker's Greaves, which feels pretty good.
True. That's actually a really good point. We haven't really seen Twisted Fate be that meta here in patch 26.x, so hasn't been as relevant, but very relevant here.
Yeah. Xiu just doing his very best to not die under the turret. Harpoons are raining down, level 6 now. Gets some needlework up and available.
I meant to say Tristana, by the way.
Yep.
But
both of them, it's relevant.
Yeah. I do think that with no prio in the top side, and obviously Showmaker pinned down on a turret, it's going to be hard for him to get value out of his first ultimate here, although...
Oh dear, a fight on the Rift Skull.
Showmaker doesn't have TP, and he's just backing.
Lucid just takes the Lantern, gets himself out of there. Xiu gets hooked. There's the zap follow-up as well, but they don't go all in.
It's a 4v3, so...
Andal getting that money.
I don't think it's a good idea to commit further there.
I think DRX just learnt a lot. Oh, you don't need to just go all in on a Rift Scuttler.
True. Don't have to.
Yeah.
Just kind of take it carefully and back away and be like, all right, the money.
Beautifully done. Xiu and Andal actually feeling a lot better here in this lane, but you can see it's very, very even. Cull advantage going to be a big one, but BF Sword feels like a phenomenal first buy. And so Xiu very happy about that one.
Showmaker has heal right now. Not sure if that's really going to help him too much, but has been able to get a little bit back in terms of lane control, the back timings. So has potential prio to contest this dragon now that is being started up by Willer.
Yep.
It's just so tough, though, because the Tristana is always going to out-damage you in these early skirmishes. And so you're like, I can stun somebody, but if there's no follow-up and you don't have that prio on the dragon, you can't really do anything as the Twisted Fate, and he's just back to pushing mid, and Yuka will join him.
Yep, so make a Death Rocket unable to get the steal, but as you say, nice try. Red-white guns here for Xiu, but he's slowly running out of ammo. And Lucid going to be able to steal away a red buff, but the Krugs have not respawned just yet. Looks like Willer is just going to pick up a Zeke's and then hope that he's not too sad about all of his jungle being missing. But so far, Lucid has not necessarily found himself a big advantage or anything like that.
It's really only Showmaker who has one 4D+, but it's small advantages everywhere else for DRX.
Yep.
Plus the dragon.
Oh, did Willer actually take that as well? He did. just walked up and smote it. Beautifully done. There are the pineapples. Needlework not connecting here as there is the flame spitter. Rich lights him on fire, then lights him on fire again. That is a solo bolo as the DRX top laner continues his fantastic
And now
ball.
they just can't contest for grubs, and Rich is going to get more plate gold. This bottom lane is still winning.
Whoa, flash play comes on through. Flame chompers go down, but not exactly connecting. As far as the CC is concerned, another hook just barely misses the backside of the Lulu.
Andal just walks it off, though. And we talked about this in the draft. They gave over the Rumble. They slam-locked Shiu's Gwen, and they trusted it. But in terms of individual performance, it just has not been there today. And he gets soloed by Rich, and that was their answer. And as Gwen is put behind in this game, despite having a pretty nice trade in terms of the initial gank that happened earlier, as he just goes in for the snip, takes a ton of damage. The heat is exactly where Rich wants it. He's got Ignite. He can follow Flash here. Just gets on top of him.
Yeah, gorgeously played. DRX pretty psyched about it as well as Joker's celebration. Kind of ridiculous, but I love it. And that is just such a phenomenal position to be in. They're almost 1,000 gold in the lead, a Drake in advantage as well. And here in a game 5, early leads mean all that much more, right? Because tensions are so incredibly high. Being able to have that extra layer of security feels fantastic. Not out of the woods just yet, but the problem is, DK's composition, it's, once again, I mean, it does team fight relatively well. Like a flanking Gwen could get some stuff done, and you've got the CC of Showmaker on this Twisted Fate. But really, you want to be getting flanks. And you want to be trying to get a 1-3-1 to work and splitting the map and things like this.
And the truth is, now this Gwen is going to be more, it's more difficult for her to actually pull that off. And they have 0 grubs. It's DRX who have the triple grubs.
Yeah.
So you have this 1-3-1 comp with the Gwen being behind. DRX have a scaling Aphelios, you got the scaling Jinx, but Yukau's on the Tristana, right? Like, Showmaker's not going to be able to match that, so they really need to get back map control at some point in the mid-game through a decisive team fight with pick setups from Showmaker. Otherwise, DRX just naturally coast into the late game.
Oh, God. I am very worried. Lucid just goes back home. Shiu pushed up pretty far. Looks like Willa might not look for this. Obviously, Sejuani really hates ganking Gwen, because you just kind of press W and you're fine. As the zap goes wide. Smash and Korea doing their very best. I was actually, now that I think about it, I kind of wish Korea had played Janna. Because it reminds me of the old Smash Reckless days, you know?
That would have been really cool, and to be honest, would have made sense a lot.
It's kind of a fun one.
But Korea's not Reckless, so...
He is not.
Not yet. Maybe one day he'll transform. No, probably not. I think only Reckless.
No, I think only Reckless is Reckless. Unless you're talking about Reckless as in, like, the word. As in playing with Reckless abandon. He's somewhat Reckless. That's all right. Shiu is going to survive that potential gank attempt. As Showmaker goes back to lane. He was considering a bit of a Destiny Gate towards the bottom side. As wants to be able to take this cannon and does manage to do so. Currently ahead by about 500 gold.
I'm just a little bit concerned about a side lane Tristana in this game now with 3 grubs, the lead they have already. As, again, Career's Thresh play so far hasn't quite, you know, it just hasn't felt great. You know, we're not seeing any big plays from just yet. It's still early laning phase into heading towards a mid game right now, but still a few opportunities that he's whiffed. His placement of his hooks has been, as you said, calibrating at best. So DRX are kind of chilling right now. This is another slow early game start, but it's these small advantages, the advantage that D+ does not have, that makes you feel like, okay, this next Dragon fight, can Showmaker find the angle? Can he get that gold card? Can we access the backline? Can we win a team fight before Gio is online? These are the questions that D+ will have to answer.
Well, Showmaker can now probably go back and grab Rod of Ages here at about 12 minutes. Feels pretty good.
We'll grab just that heal to get his TP back to head back to a contest. Gonna go straight to the mid lane. But they have no prio anywhere, Atlas. Like, look at the map.
Yeah.
Lucid is like, I'm just clearing my jungle.
And we need to see more from Lucid as well. I mean, Lee Sin in the early game, that's kind of where he thrives. Hasn't really been able to find too much. As Rich, once again, just going to burn down Shiu. And that was like a third of a Flame Spitter. Now level 11. 2 levels ahead of Shiu as well.
Shiu, red, white, they are ready for this fight.
Yep, let's see whether DRX can make this one happen. There's a... Okay, it wasn't exactly the Glacial Prison he was looking for. As now Lucid safeguards his way out. He can also take a Lantern to get his way out of there, but instead he finds the kick, hits you, there's the flash play to come through, and the steal is there from Lucid at the same time. You see Lucid trying to get over towards Gio, but couldn't actually resonatingly strike to him because he was too far away. Finds the Piggy, though, and manages to take down the Sejuani. Now, a wild growth from Andal is not going to do enough, and that is going to be Showmaker getting even more. Now, Gio and Yukal just trying to keep themselves alive underneath this turret. And yeah, Rich walked down, he's like, what did I miss?
That was absolute cinema, actually, that team fight, Atlas.
That is what I wanted. We were waiting for this from Lucid, and at least he delivered.
I think Willer made some choices in this fight. Looked for just the blind ult onto Showmaker, which was flashed very easily. I think he could have used it as a peel tool. There are a lot of different ways he could use this. And then he just sets up Lucid for the kick play here. Then the flash flay onto Gio is fantastic. The rocket comes through. He gets put incredibly low. Willer trying to peel, has to flash away. And then, yes, the Death Sentence doesn't hit here, but Showmaker didn't even use his ult initially. And Yukal has to ult for the defense. Andal self-ults to try to peel back, but Lucid gets the full wraparound. And it's a one fight here for D+ and a Dragon secure. This is the lead they need to have to win this game. And it's off the back of the Lee Sin. We were waiting for it, and we finally got it.
Yep, that's going to put Showmaker at a 1,000 gold lead as well. It does not stop Rich from being a gigantic problem in this game. A great way to mitigate the Rich problem is to fight when he's not there. That's really good. That's a great way to handle it. But now he has got a free teleport. Yes, it's got a huge cooldown, but will be able to get towards some fights. And at least Xiu does manage to complete his quest, finally. But the advantage that Rich had with an early completion and things like this, level 12 to the level 11, but Xiu only just got there. I guess same can be said for Rich. So it's a full level lead, as now Showmaker could be in trouble. Another Glacial Prison is going to miss, though. And at least Yukal's able to get the damage down. Does find the rocket jump, and Showmaker will die.
Yeah, you can always follow up with that rocket jump in that situation because you know you're going to get the kill and you're going to get right out. Lucid just comes over here to see if he can get a cannon and deny this plate.
Oh, almost follows him with that Sonic Wave. Beautifully done, but another plate does go over to Yukal. And that is a lot of money stripped from DK here.
Yeah, that's a big win for the Tristana. All right, as Lucid.
Yeah, looking for an angle here. He's very close to where the Rumble is, and the Rumble is scary. That's all right, connects another Sonic Wave, and now able to safeguard his way over. Super Mega Death Rocket avoided there by Willer, but Xiu, he just wants to get himself a kill and find some money. Lucid makes his way out with 100 health, and D+ finding even more advantages here after losing their mid laner.
A lot of free gold, though, to Gio on the other side of the map. It's not a free win for D+, but it was well executed again by the Lee Sin. Lucid so famed for this pick. Feels CV Max hasn't given him the reins to play it all too often here in 2026, but it is a treat to watch again. As we go back to this pick onto Showmaker, as you mentioned, the ult goes wide, but it means that Showmaker has to sidestep forward, or I suppose maybe he was just looking for a gold card play there. It was coincidental either way. Just too much damage here. The turret can be tanked up easily by the Sejuani. And then over here, Scuttle secured, yes. But then Lucid's like, I don't care about that Rumble. I'm going to look for the outplay. Has the kick available here. Gets this max range Q.
Right after the Arctic Assault as well. Actually kind of insane.
He just kicks Rich away. Hits the Q on him, by the way, because he's like, is there some play here? And then smartly decides not to press it a second time.
Yeah, good.
That's actually one of the most skillful things he did there.
Exactly.
Player,
avoids just careening into a barbecue. Not a bad move. As Smash also not going to face check a brush. Good learnings across the board. Zap does come on through. Smash feeling pretty confident right now as gold card not needed.
Unsealed cleanse, high value.
That one's pretty good. That's it's good advertisement for Unsealed Spellbook, which Showmaker takes every time on the Twisted Fate.
Interesting, we do have the, okay, this is going to be a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, Permafrost does come in. Yukal now trying to get the damage down onto Korea, but he finds a Death Sentence onto Willer, and Smash has turned up now. He's pretty tanky though and has the wild growth as DK just look to get themselves out. Teleport in from the Rumble. Yes, I would disengage too. As, oh, that hook just barely not enough.
It feels like
Xiu should get some spare time.
His best aimed hooks have just been like a pixel or two out of range. And unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to turn that into anything. As Xiu gets some alone time here with this turret that Yukal will have to answer. But this game is so incredibly close. It is kind of unreal. And because no one really ends up dying there in that last skirmish, no one gets full control of the dragon that's spawning here in 10 seconds. But I like the position here of DRX because they have mid-prio as Xiu holds a BF sword here.
Yeah, he's
Willer's ult's coming back.
He had the Kraken Slayer done for Smash. He's looking for item number 2. come up pretty soon. Obviously, Jinx wants 3 or 4 items, right? Maybe 3 is going to be fine because it's only the Sejuani as far as tanky members are concerned.
They want to play through Rich more instead of trying to contest for Dragon, and Lucid is predicting this as well.
Well, Korea was thinking about trying to find an angle as Willa's moving over. It is a Infernal Soul as well this game, just to add a little bit more fire to the Rumble. That would be scary. Imagine that. Managed to get 3 Infernals as well as being ridiculously fed, like Rich is, and having Ignite, as the hook is going to go wide here. Lucid trying to find a bit of an angle as the Glacial Prison does come on through. I don't think taking that Lantern's going to be a good idea, and somehow Korea survives!
Well, that's Lucid again, gets the kick for the peel, but...
Oh, he was trying to snipe him, but Rich was unable to find it. Unfortunately, the equalizer doesn't work on turrets, otherwise that could have looked cool. But it doesn't. As now Yukal trying to take down this outer on the top side of the map as well. That'd be first turret blood, which is still on the table.
A lot of resources for DRX that don't end up coming up big because of that kick from Lucid. Now they get to drop Herald here and try to take this mid turret off the map. Showmaker's set for this. And this is going to be a big charge. They don't quite get it from that alone, as Yukal does end up taking the first turret there on top side before Shiu could get back. Rich also getting this one. But they need to turn this into a Dragon take. Getting the turret alone, which they haven't quite gotten yet, isn't really it. They really need to get that Drake.
And Smash is so far forward as well. Has to be a bit careful as the hook is going to connect onto Willow one more time, but they're looking for the fight. Permafrost comes in, the playback onto Yukal just to try and buy some space. As Smash got out of there, didn't have to use his flash, but Rich has got his, and he's not afraid to use it. Takes down Lucid. And now DRX are looking for even more. Shiu trying to get in there, but he is nowhere near as scary as this Rumble.
Oh, poor Showmaker too, probably feeling like Career trolled him a little bit there, pulling the Sejuani into him.
And the first Infernal will go over to DRX.
And this is really not great for D+. They still have a gold lead, as this is going to be another attempt here by Smash.
Swing of the tempo vibes, Wolf.
100%. Okay, look at this. Career pulls the Sejuani in, but that's exactly where Willer wants to be. And Showmaker's like, damn, man, I'm trying to gold card somebody and set it up. And then Rich basically 100-0s Lucid, flashes on him for the kill, and there's just nothing left here for D+ in the tank. That's the Dragon, as you mentioned. And with all those turrets going over to DRX, they're keeping this game dead even in gold. It's really only the Jinx that has a significant lead when you consider Showmaker's money is mostly in his passive here.
Yeah. And in fact, I think in a normal game, when you're not cheating, Yukal would be in the lead. So the Tristana doing pretty well at this stage of the game. Smash and Korea now just collecting waves in mid. It is 2 items done for both of our mid laners. Showmaker pretty happy about the Lich Bane coming in. Oftentimes we do see Rapid Fire Cannon second, but having it come in third does mean that it'll do a little bit more damage.
The triple threat here for DRX coming up big in the damage chart. And this is not going to be a hook they were looking for. That turret is just gone.
Void Grub interrupting the hook. That feels bad. Direct counter to Thresh, triple grubs.
Apparently. I thought it was just dropping wards on the ground, but there's another threat.
Yeah. Thresh really just getting power crept by stuff you can do.
Is there any world where this 1-3-1 for DK can get online? Like, they have the Twisted Fate in the top lane, they've got the Gwen in the bottom lane, but they're both sitting left of the equator, so to speak, of the river here, and they're not threatening turrets. They don't have map control, and DRX are happy to sit back on this Tristana Aphelios, who, by the way, has an IE completed now here at 2140.
Oh god, Shiu also spots out that there's a Sejuani lying in wait. Does have a Lee Sin in the vicinity. But this is frightening. Lucid getting the mini stun kick into the wall onto Rich, but he throws down the equalizer. Still, the needlework comes in, but Willa, he's not able to get enough damage down. Rich somehow, oh, super mega death rocket takes him down. And that is money into Smash's hands. Willer full health, but he just couldn't affect the play.
Oh man, Rich's face too, hit by the rocket, was just like, well, I don't know what I was supposed to do here. I tried my best to get out. Smash actually has the Lantern here to take out the turret post-kill to grab all that extra money as well. His lead was the only real lead, and now it is basically tripled here, up to 1,500. So D+ getting that tempo back a little bit here as they look to also push this top turret, and the 1-3-1 composition can breathe a little bit here now, as this kick into the wall was absolutely the right call. Rich's placement of the equalizer is perfect. The Glacial Prison gives him enough time. He presses W to scrap shield out, but turns around one more time to look for Lucid, and obviously doesn't have flash to react to the rocket.
Oh, I mean, Rich is giving it absolutely everything in this series, but that is still so much money going over to Smash, who's got that cool new item, the MK thingy-jiggy, about the doing damage from a long way. The Caitlyn item. That's kind of fun. It's now Rich. Oh, God. Has this matchup turned as he silences himself, and for another 46 seconds.
D+ starting to really pull away with this one. That's a huge win in the side. They get the turret. Now,
and
top
Dusk
side.
and Dawn, man. Like, that was the completion, and now she was like, I run at him and kill him every time.
I win now. On the top side, UCal is keeping Showmaker back, but hold up.
Yeah, let's see whether Lucid can find an angle for a kick or something like that. Hook going to connect onto the Serrani as Willa in a little bit of a rough spot. Does have Aftershock and the Glacial Armor. Doesn't have it now as Lucid's just baiting them with some safeguarding and resonating strike shenanigans.
It looked like they were trying to set up a kick onto Willer that hits Gio, and then the death sentence comes over, but he doesn't find the angle. He just bails out right away from the whole situation by safeguarding back. Whew, this game is tense because it felt for a long time like the damage had been done. Like D+, we're not, I mean, this is a cooldown problem here for Rich. Just does not have his buttons and straight up dies. But the Dusk and Dawn playing a huge part in it. But it felt like for so much of this early game that D+ had not done enough. That yes, the Jinx was ahead, but was it going to amount to anything was the real question. And now we're looking at a world where I think the answer is they have enough control to now fight this dragon straight up and use this composition's win cons to its full effect. And they have pick. I mean, it's a 3-item Twisted Fate here for Showmaker. He's got the rapid fire cannon, and they kill anybody. Jinx gets excited with that sniper weapon that I can't remember the name of right now. It's pretty crazy work what they could do with it.
It's so far working out here. 3.7k the advantage is now Willer is in a bit of trouble. Rich needs to be careful as well. Gets the equalizer down in a decent spot, but it's not going to save the Sejuani. Rich, oh, the longest rocket of all time. And Gio is very, very large, but he's tagged by Lucid and shut down. Andel's able to flash the wall. The zap will be avoided, but the damage, ladies and gentlemen, has been done. As D+, they're looking at taking this game number 5 with a Baron on the way.
And some things just feel inevitable. Showmaker's Twisted Fate helping to set this one all up. They turn this composition into a killing machine. Pick-based for the Jinx to get excited and just snipe people, run them down with that extra range, and that's exactly what happened in that last fight. 5.5k pushes up to 6.3 with the Baron take. And we keep watching these fights where Willer is trying to set something up on his own and ends up being kind of free food as he takes so much damage as Shio goes in, and when that first pick comes through, just watch Smash go.
And do you know what's ridiculous? The amount, it's called Hex Optics, by the way.
Thank you.
But the amount of value on that item, kind of absurd with the fact that everyone's flashing away from him while the auto attacks are in the air. It's making it even better.
It's crazy too, like, to get maximum value out of this item, you really have to trust that you are going to pop off, I think, with Jinx. With a lot of other 80 carry, Caitlyn, frankly, you're like, okay, well, this will get value in almost every scenario. But with Jinx, you're like, all right, we trust. We're going to put our eggs in the Smash basket this time. He almost has, i.e., 4th item completed here. And I think D+ have done it, Atlas. I mean, I know we've talked about the throws, we talked about the comebacks, but I just don't see it in this game anymore. They have the 1-3-1 now fully online. It's a train chugging towards the station here.
Yeah, and this is the difficulty, right? DK's composition snowballs so incredibly effectively with the Gwen and the Twisted Fate in side lanes. It can really get to a checkmate scenario very quickly as Gio almost just dead. So Mega Death Rocket almost finishes him off, and that's going to spell the end of this inner turret. Showmaker doing the same thing on this bottom side. And Lucid just making sure no one can defend. The Gwen's in the top lane. Like, it's actually just every lane is under threat. And there is a second one. So the Rebel Baron power play chugging above 3,000 now.
So if we entertain the possibility of a comeback here for DRX.
Got it.
Which is, of course, just theoretical only at this point. It's not based in any true feelings that we have or analytics we're trying to put in. It's going to be off the back of a big mistake. Let's say Lucid takes the wrong kick angle, or they push too deep with Showmaker without vision. It's going to be something
Showmaker like gates into the middle of the whole team.
Yes. or just like misclicks and gates behind them and then just get collapsed on and dies. And even that is like, okay, Showmaker's dead, but then what are you going to do? You know, it's really about D+ making big errors here. And Baron is running out, but they're continuing to play measured, just trying to take every little piece off of the map, get this red buff, but don't overcommit, try to find a favorable angle here with this gold card, always fishing. And they have, you know, Lucid and Flash coming back up very soon. There's some kick angles. You can insect here with the siege that you have, with the map control you have. You don't have to get an inhibitor here at 28 minutes to feel like you've won the game.
Oh, Shiu could be in a little bit of trouble here, as Gate has been thrown down. And that just mitigates any sort of attempt at stopping Showmaker from doing what he wants. It's stopping Shiu from doing what he wants. As they get all the information, they understand exactly what DRX are trying to do, and they can react accordingly. Now, with the Baron now worn off, Yukal fighting against Shiu here, as the Equalizer comes on through. Lucid able to get himself out of the way. The Glacial Prison just goes wide, though. Shiu able to dash his way out. There's a gold card, but tagged by the Harpoon is Showmaker. He has the exhaust, but I think he's still dead. He goes golden first, but he's set up. Oh, the Lantern gets him out! As the rest of DRX, they're scrambling to try and finish off the kills, but that means Smash is able to auto-attack them. The Zap is going to tag Yukal. The Flash Hook picks up the Tristana career. You absolute gem, as Smash is basking in the fire. That's what he likes. And now Willer is going to get taken down. It's a triple, as she is going to die for the Quadra. And now Andal, the last one standing between Smash and a pentakill here in this game 5, and he's flashing for it. He knows that he can't take the turret for too much longer, though, as now Shiu thinking about trying to dive the fountain, and Andal will say no penta for you if we have to go to the lower bracket of these playoffs. And D+ Kia, oh man, they gave us as much action as possible here today in the LCK Cup playoffs, but they are going to win. They're going to keep the streak alive, and DRX going to have to try again next time to see whether they can take down D+ Kia. But this was the best shot they've taken in a very long time.
This final fight here, like they back out right. Shiu has to flash out. Yukal is looking for a reset. He's like, I am so close to, if I kill anybody here, just wiping them and getting a pentakill. Career, this hook's not the one that matters, but gets the Lantern onto Showmaker. And then right here, grabs Yukal, stops him from following up. And from that on, that's basically the end of the fight for DRX, but he puts the cherry on top. Follow-up hook.
Just gorgeous. But like actually like nailing the execution in that intense moment, it's a big deal here for the young player. Smash unfortunately had his penta denied, but you can't have everything, and just a victory in this series I think is the biggest deal, as Smash just didn't want to die underneath the turret. That was unfortunately tanked by him. So we are gonna have a look at some of these damage numbers. Ultimately in the end Smash did do the most, but Rich did a big deal.
All I could say about the rest of LCK, right, the non-T1, non-Genji, that's where everybody else is. There is just something about this year, the start of it, that feels like we're on more parity than since I joined the LCK. I've never felt like any team could beat any other team this hard, and that we'd have back-to-back game 5s with clear favorites. It's going to be a great year, and then for Showmaker, he starts it off in a great way here as well, picking up player of the match. He was my vote.